What's up, everybody? This is Brian here. Today we're going to be talking about baseball a little bit as we enter into the final weeks of the season into September and then the playoffs following that. Um, I guess that there's a lot of issues to be concerned with as we look at baseball as the season closes. Um, Number one on my list is going to be, will Bumgarner re-sign with the Giants as he nears 30? His contract is up at the end of the year, and it makes you wonder, is this kind of with the Bryce Harper situation as a reference? Is he going to become a member of this team for life, or is he going to just go with the highest bidder? Is he going to end up on some team like the Phillies or Yankees or Dodgers or something, one of those teams with really big budgets that tend to give out deals like this? Or will the Giants make an investment and will he end up one of those guys, kind of like David Ortiz the other day? He threw out the first pitch for the Red Sox. Is Baumgartner going to end up one of those guys getting his jersey number retired and ending up, throwing out first pitches for this team, or maybe, guest appearing on commentary? Is he going to end his Giants career here, or it just makes you wonder, especially as he kind of nears the end to middle end of his of his prime. Probably that's obviously just a guess. He could be one of those guys, kind of like Verlander, who ends up aging really well. But how many guys are Justin Verlander? Not too many. And Bumgarner's already lost quite a bit of velocity on his fastball, but with his control and with his unique delivery, he seems like the kind of guy who, if he can stay healthy, which is anybody's guess, if he can stay healthy, that he seems like the kind of guy who has the skill set to age well, Kind of the same way that Kershaw, even though he's lost some velocity on his fastball because he has good breaking balls and he has a good delivery, he seems like he's still pitching well, even though he's given up a little bit more home runs. But isn't everybody giving up a little bit more home runs this year? There's been a huge increase. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyways, number two on this list is also going to concern the Giants, but it's going to be talking about Bruce Bochy. Who's going to manage the Giants after Bruce Bochy retires? Unfortunately, we didn't make it to the playoffs one last time for him in a storybook finish. But hopefully we can get the team above 500 one last time for him, so they finish out as a winner. But who's going to be the Giants' next manager, and will they find a long-term fit, or is it just going to be some placeholder guy who manages the team on a 65 win year and then they replace him? Is it going to be like a series of swaps until they find the right guy? The right guy who manages the team to some postseason success and maybe even a title, like for a 10-year run. But I doubt they'll just right off the bat find another guy like Bruce Bochy, a Hall of Fame manager. Just the first person they dig up, I doubt is going to be that successful. Anyways, but the only name I've really heard mentioned was Dusty Baker, so maybe he's interviewing for the job. I guess we'll see. We haven't heard too many names floating around, at least not in my neck of the woods. Number three on here is going to be one of the longer segments I wanted to talk about in this video, and one of the bigger things in this video, which is the baseball-wide increase of home runs. For one, the Minnesota Twins, a team not generally in recent years known for their power, set the single season home run record mark, and they led all of baseball to this point, which is September, I think, 9th. Um, Anyways, yeah, and the Yankees are also right on their tail. Way more teams have broken the 200 homer mark than last year. Um, and the Yankees have also broken their own franchise record, which was only from 2018. So power is increasing at a steep rate. A lot of guys are emerging from the woodwork with few prior power exploits to hit a ton of home runs. Look at Yastrzemski on the Giants. He just came up out of 7 years in the Orioles minor league system and hit 19 home runs. Look at that guy Marte on the Arizona Diamondbacks. He had like 8 home runs over like the last 3 or 4 years, and now he's looking like a serious power threat. Um, yeah, you have to wonder if they did something to the ball. I mean, it's either that or they stopped testing for steroids, but I haven't seen anyone who really looked that, like juiced up like Barry Bonds. It looked more like they were doing something to the ball to make it go farther, maybe to sell more tickets because home runs are exciting, for those who don't enjoy a subtle pitching matchup. Here's a quote from American League Cy Young favorite Justin Verlander per ESPN. Quote, "It's a fucking joke," said Verlander, an 8-time All-Star who is starting his second All-Star game on Tuesday. Major League Baseball's turning this game into a joke. They own Rawlings. And you've got Manfred up there saying uh, it might be the way they center the pill. They own the fucking company. If any other $40 billion company bought out a $400 million company and the product changed dramatically, it's not a guess as to what happened. We all know what happened. Manfred, the first time he came in, what did he say? He said, "We want more offense." All of a sudden, he comes in and the balls are juiced. It's not a coincidence. We're not idiots. I hate the way I feel out there. No matter who's the batter, I feel like I'm constantly walking a tightrope because any batter can go opposite field. Any batter can leave with any pitch that's anywhere in the zone. You can't miss barrels anymore. You have to miss bats. There have been multiple times this year where 5 years ago I'd probably just throw a fastball away. I can't even do that because you're the 8 and 9 hole hitter and you can still hit an opposite field home run. Even Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, was quoted by ESPN as saying, quote, "We think what's been going on this year is attributable to the ball." So he pretty much admits it right there. Manfred told Golick and Wingo, who I guess were the reporters, "Our scientists that have now been studying the baseball more regularly have told us that this year the ball has a little less drag. It doesn't need to change very much in order to produce meaningful change in terms of the way the game is played on the field. We are trying to understand exactly what happened out there that, we are trying to understand exactly why that happened and build out a manufacturing process that gives us a little more control over what's going on. But you have to remember that our baseball is a handmade product." Yeah, right. "And there's going to be variation year to year." So those are both sides of the story, a skeptical baseball player and the actual commissioner of baseball himself. So there you have both sides of the story. I tend to agree with Verlander more, just in my opinion. I've also seen stats that this year players are due to collectively hit more home runs ever than before as a group. There's no other way to really explain this, again, unless they stop testing to sell more tickets like in the early 2000s. Let me just check my camera timer. Okay, we're doing pretty good. We're going to go on to number 4 now. I've heard a lot of people talking about the increase in home runs and everything, but it just makes you wonder, why is that? I didn't actually know till I read Verlander's comment that MLB owned Rawlings, the company that makes the gloves, and I think the bats and balls too. Anyways, let's get to number 4. Will Trout's contract be topped as quickly as the New York Yankees home run record, like within a year? He and Harper made an insane set of deals last year, 12 and 13 years respectively. Will there be some deal like Stanton where there are years of payment after he's done playing, like where they're paying him till he's like 45 years old? I don't know. I kind of hope that they don't make these go to an unsustainable length, money-wise or time-wise, Number 5. Can anyone hopefully take down the first place Dodgers in the playoffs? As my team sits in third place, that'll be my only recompense for losing. Anyways, on a more serious note, let's hope that they can get swept completely in the first round. This number is obviously just a little bit of a joke entry, but yeah, somebody sweep the Dodgers, and I think that I'll become an Atlanta Braves fan all of a sudden. If you can just do that for me. Number 6 on here. Number 6 is going to be padding the fence better because I've seen a number of players crash into the wall trying to steal away a borderline homer. They've often bounced off and have hit the ground pretty hard and had to leave the game to get checked out. If a player is at risk to hurt their ribs or their abdomen on the field that they play on every day, I think that that area needs an upgrade. I saw Jock Peterson, the Dodgers power hitting outfielder, ricochet off that wall, and I actually thought it looked like he broke a rib. He's been back playing in recent days, so I guess that's not the case. But there's other players who I've seen who have gotten hurt and have not been so lucky as to just sustain a bruise, you know? Not that that's lucky, but you know what I mean. Next up is something that might be a little bit more controversial, and that's advertising and the constant commercial breaks. I know that ads are an important part of the game and how they make their revenue, but it's beginning to feel like the game is more of a break between the ads, like the game is an ad between advertisements, you know? You can't go a millisecond without an ad interrupting the game in the middle of an at-bat, defensive play, or pitch in midair. There is less baseball than ads practically. And behind the plate, there are 3 different LED ads at any given time. And everything is irrelevant and distracting. It's like Dignity Healthcare or Taco Bell or something. And every little StatCast presentation has to be presented by some asshole corporation. This pitch is brought to you by Toyota, not Will Smith or Mad Bum. It's brought to you by Coors Light. Again, I know that ads are a part of TV and they're a part of streaming and YouTube and all of that. This is all especially pertinent, though, in the constant pitching changes that are happening later in the season. Every other out leads to a pitching change and a commercial break as the teams play chess between platoon advantages of right-handers and left-handers. I think it dilutes the game into another corporate exploit that's freaking hollow, and it interrupts the tradition and the way the game should be played. They have enough money already where they don't need to milk every opportunity to advertise whatever they can, you know? It makes the broadcast feel like one of those shitty articles on the internet that have a bar ad and a pop-up ad every other paragraph, and it keeps reloading the page constantly to where you can hardly read it. It's practically unusable. And I tune in to watch baseball, and that's what I'm here to watch, not Coors Light and Toyota Thons. So I think that they need to really do something to reduce the amount of advertising. I know that that's never going to happen because they don't want to make less money. But still, I think that MLB needs to do something about this, or at least place the ads better, because I'm tired of seeing them just like omnipresently, you know? Number 8 on here, let me just check this one more time, is going to be who is going to finish with the MLB homer lead. Pete Alonso has had a crazy rookie season, but Trout has also set what I'm pretty sure is a career high mark and could easily catch up with him with a hot series in the last month. Yeah, so I wonder who will. I think the high right now is 47, but let's see where that ends up if anybody actually hits 50. I don't think Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to hit that like 40-40, 50-50 season they were predicting for a while there mid-season, but he's had a really amazing year. Anyways, number 9 on this list is going to be that I really hope Pilar re-signs after this career year he's had with the Giants. They traded for him, and it was really a steal from the Blue Jays early in the season, and he's leading the team in most categories. I mean, He's led the team in a slew of offensive categories. It's only a matter of time before he becomes like Ohtani and takes the ERA lead and win lead for the Giants pitchers too. But I hope they bring him back. He kind of reminds me of Hunter Pence in the sense that he's really been a fan favorite. He's been exciting and entertaining. He's been great for team spirit, and I think that they should really bring him back. Probably wouldn't be as expensive as some of these other guys like Bumgarner, obviously. So I think Pilar should definitely sign at least like a 4-year deal with the Giants for sure. Number 10 on here is going to be two other Giants players, which is Mike Yastrzemski and Reyes Maranta, the outfielder and the relief pitcher. Um, for Yastrzemski, I think he should be in the top 5 for Rookie of the Year. He may not win it over Alonso from the Mets and his crazy homer total, but his 19 homers in only part of a season after languishing in the minors for so long is such a cool story, and I think that it deserves more attention. He's one of the most underrated rookies in all of baseball, I think, because we have these guys like I think Soto from the Nationals, and we have Ronald Acuna Jr., who he was a rookie last year, wasn't he? Um, but yeah, we have so many amazing rookies now that it's almost like he's getting neglected just because of what's happening around him, which kind of sucks. But yeah, Yastrzemski making it to the majors at 29 and hitting 19 home runs, really impressive. Um, so I hope he becomes a vital piece of next year's outfield. And I hope Gott and Maranta are back soon. I know that they're not going to be this year because um, I think Gott sprained his elbow, and didn't Maranta get like a major shoulder injury? He's out for the whole year. Um, yeah, because other than the surprising effectiveness of Yandel Gustave, the bullpen has kind of sat eviscerated recently in terms of effectiveness. They've given up a lot of runs, it seems like. And, I don't know why the Giants traded Melanson and Dyson at the trade deadline. I know that was a long time ago, mid-season. But still, considering all the injuries they've had recently, it makes you wish that they hadn't unloaded so many important pieces, especially now that Will Smith is hurt with a mild back strain. Um, so hopefully those guys can actually come back and um, and have an effective season for the Giants next year without getting hurt. Um, anyways, yeah, go Giants, and let's hope that the Dodgers get swept and eliminated, just completely wiped from the playoffs, like the shit stain of a team that they are. Anyways, yeah, this is my discussion of baseball late in this year. Huge homer surge, couple of underrated rookies. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys all because you're you, and peace out.